Hello, welcome back finally for the final part of this little drawing series. If you don't already know, my name is Molly, or Mad Moll, and yeah, this is part 4 of me putting together this weird little illustration in Adobe Fresco. I will have the links to the other parts down below. It's been a little bit of a delay since I got part 3 out until I got this one out. I was having some technical difficulties and some life difficulties, but I am back and this is finally the final part. So hopefully no one's been waiting on this. I really doubt it, but if you were, I'm sorry, and hopefully now you are ready to enjoy the final steps of this drawing. Also, in exciting news, I got a new microphone. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but I'm hoping that the sound will be a lot nicer moving forward, and hopefully it'll be easier for me to do some more like live filming where I can talk through my process while I'm actually working. Before I was using like Apple headset microphone, which was awful and hard to use and really up and down with the levels. But now I've got something a little bit fancier. So yeah, just positive things moving forward. But, you know, all that being said, let's just finish up with this drawing. So yeah, starting off, as you have seen, just finishing off these moth shapes. I decided to go for outlines that weren't black. I used colors just a bit darker than the base colors, mostly just to sort of put these moths into the background, keep them behind the main figure a little bit, and not have all those black lines competing with each other. It's actually something really helpful in art if you're trying to push things into the background. Just fade all the colors, fade all the darks into slightly less dark. It can really help set those levels in people's minds, I guess, without even realizing it. They understand that something's in the background and something's in the foreground because the background element is just a bit faded. It's a super fun concept that I still remember from my 12th grade art class called Atmospheric Perspective. So you can go Google that if you're one of those people that likes to know things. But yeah, I hope that you're all doing well out there in the world, wherever you might be. Hope that you're being creative in your regular life, or at least trying to be, you know, I hope you're surviving. That's always really important. Oh, at this point, I was kind of just messing around. I honestly had no idea what I was going to do with the rest of this image. So I started messing around with these shapes, thinking, oh, maybe I'll put like a background shape or like some patterns. I honestly had no idea. So I was just sort of playing around with a few of these features, but I did this and immediately hated it. So I end up getting rid of this. It does not stay for the final drawing. Yeah, I think already I was like, nope, delete, don't like. Oh, so this does do a little bit of a weird jump. I even just surprised myself. I wasn't expecting that. If you haven't seen the last part of this video, I mean the previous part, where I go back and redraw her gun and turn it into a water gun, that got its own separate video. So yeah, like I said, there'll be a link below if you haven't seen that part. But what happens is I went to another document, I drew the gun separately, and then I pasted it in here, and then I continued with this process. So that's where we are now. The water gun's been changed, but hasn't been colored yet, so you'll still get to see that process. And yeah, now I'm just back into adding some shadows, just like rendering this figure out a little bit, making it a bit less flat so that she stands out again in the front. Another thing with kind of differentiating your layers, really showing foreground versus background, is the foreground should always have the most details, or at least the maybe not the foreground, but the midground, the main focus of your piece should have the most details. And then stuff, hidden behind, or even stuff that's really close to the front, like a true foreground, should have a little less detail so that your eyes always go to the thing that they're supposed to go to. Some of those little tips and tricks, it's not a hard, fast rule, but it definitely can help with busy compositions like this one. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of colors. It's like sort of an abstract space. So I really wanted the focus to be on the figure. So I outlined her in black. I really detailed her in terms of shadows and highlights and different colors and layers. And then the rest of the stuff I keep a little bit flatter. I keep a little bit less outlined, and it helps separate those two layers. So that's what I'm trying to explain. It's funny because so much of this video is just me kind of not knowing how to use Adobe Fresco. And so I'm constantly clicking the wrong buttons or accidentally filling the whole screen instead of just a small section. But I kept all that stuff in. I mean, I could have probably edited some of that out, but I don't want people to think that I open a program like this and am immediately amazing at it. Art of any kind, but in my experience, especially digital art, takes so much practice, and so much of the practice is just messing around with your tools. So if there's a drawing program that has sparked your interest that you haven't tried, even, if you have a zero experience in digital drawing, maybe just download it, especially if it's free, and just mess around with it and see what all the different tools do, see what kind of different effects you can accomplish. Google some things if there's tools that you really have no idea what they're for. And you'll find that the more that you do that, obviously, the easier it's going to get to use the program. And you might figure out some tips and tricks and little secret things that you like to use to make your art look how you want it to look. It's really the whole existence of people making art is just messing around with random tools and hoping that it looks pretty at the end. So digital art is no different. Yeah, here we go again. Just me filling in the whole hair, not understanding why it wasn't sticking to that one section. And so I think I think I'm pretty much done with that. Although I feel I go in and change the color a bit to up the contrast a little, because I wasn't happy with how minimally that contrast was showing up. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, is trying to figure out what color I actually want to use for these little detail highlights. Do I settle on purple? I feel that's very purple. Who knows? Maybe that's what I decided to use. So yeah, I've been kind of upgrading my little YouTube setup. I've been working on a lot of different ideas. Honestly, I really don't know what this channel is about yet. I just wanted to start a YouTube channel, and so I did. And now I'm just gonna keep posting stuff, whatever I really want, until I figure it out. I've been having a lot of fun doing these sort of speed drawing videos where I just talk or put music. But I've been playing around with some other ideas too, so you might see some different things from me coming up. And we'll just have to see. We're just gonna go with the flow and try out some stuff and video some things and make some art. And that's really the whole point. I don't really care too much about sticking to a very specific formula, because I get bored of formulas really easily. So that was never going to work for me. I'm going to have to continuously try new things just to stave off my boredom in true Gemini fashion. A lot of this drawing too, on the note of just doing random new things, a lot of this drawing was just me trying random things. I just put those heart shapes in her hair. Why? I don't know. I just thought this would be cute. I'm going to do it. And there was pretty much no reason or logic for anything. Same with like all my color choices, like choices of the shapes I eventually add to the background. I really just used this piece as a big experiment for myself. I really just wanted to play around with this program, and I've talked about that a bit in the other parts, but I think you really see it in this final part when I get into some of the background elements. Is I truly have no concept of what I'm doing. I'm just trying stuff, and I would really encourage you to do that. It's my number one tip to anyone who ever asks me about art making. Honestly, just try stuff. Just don't be afraid of it looking bad, because it probably will look bad at least half the time. So just don't be afraid. Just try something, and if it looks bad, then you know not to try that next time. And if it looks good, then you get to feel like you're good at art, which is a rare and fleeting feeling. So if you get it, I wish you all the best. Oh yeah, I'm going in now to color this little water gun, which I'm so happy that I changed from a regular gun because, I don't know, the regular gun just wasn't giving me the vibe, and this water gun really does it. It's, I make it super colorful, which totally fits with it being a water gun and doesn't look weird at all. And I don't know, sometimes you have to stop halfway through your drawing and erase a whole part and change it into something different. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And this water gun is the proof. So yeah, I think, after I color this water gun, I add a little bit of shading, nothing super over the top, pretty much the same kind of stuff I was doing with the main figure. And then we get into some background elements. A lot of that is just colors and shapes, adding some patterns. I do add a little bit more actual objects, but it's pretty minimal. So I think that I might just leave you guys to finish the rest of this video off without me talking consistently. Thank you so much if you watched any or all of this series. It was interesting for me to do, just to get a feel for making these multi-part videos and for, doing kind of a weird piece for me. So thank you so much for that. I hope you haven't been too weirded out by the combination of like YouTube electronica and pure classical music that I've been using as background music, but I'm still working on the music situation, and I also just have no idea what I'm doing. So, sometimes you just have to put a little bit of Tchaikovsky in the background and just make it work. As always, there will be links in the description to my Instagram, where you can see more of my work and my tattoo work, stuff like that. And also my website, where you can sign up for my newsletter, which is the best way to get info on stuff I'm selling or tattoo appointments or whatever, all the stuff that I'm up to. And you can find those links on my channel as well. I hope that you are all having a great day. I hope you're having a great weekend. Yes, it is the weekend. I hope you're having a great weekend. And I hope you enjoy the little ending of this video. And I hope this has encouraged you to maybe try out a medium or a digital drawing program that you've never used before, and just mess around and make something colorful and have a good time. So yeah, I will say goodbye for now, but I will hopefully be back soon with another video. Like I said before, I've got some sort of new random stuff in the works, so it might be a little inconsistent for the next little while. I'm also just dealing with some regular life stuff. So I'm going to do my best to be on YouTube frequently, but it might not be as frequently. But yeah, have a good one, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.